You think about this for a minute. You finance everything you purchase. You either pay cash and give up interest you could have otherwise earned, or you formally finance and pay interest to someone else. There are no exceptions to that, whether you recognize it or not. There's a finance cost to every purchase we make in our lifetimes. Okay? Now, if I talk about our lifetime for a minute, we're all familiar with the exponential curve. Anytime you have wealth with any kind of a rate of return and time, you create an exponential curve. Isn't that right? We all have one exponential curve in our lifetime, if you think about that. And we either interrupt that exponential curve or we don't. Because as soon as I start building wealth and then I access that money or I take that money out, I've interrupted that compounding, right? And then I have to do it again. If you look at the cash buyer versus the financer, all right, the reason people pay cash is because they want to avoid paying interest. Would you agree with that? I don't want to pay anybody interest, so I'm going to pay cash for an automobile or whatever the purchase is. Now, if we have just a flat line of zero, most of America today, they don't save any money. They can't pay cash, so they go immediately into debt by using somebody else's capital. And then they're strapped with payments to get out of debt right back to zero. Right? Then they make their next purchase. They don't have any money, so they go right into debt, and they slowly come out of debt with payments because they didn't save any money. They're using somebody else's capital. Then they make another purchase. They get out of debt. They're right back to zero. And everybody's focused on the interest rate. Oh, I don't want to pay 10%. Give me that 0% interest. But they're doing the same thing over and over, right? How's that for, conveying? No, I don't need a PowerPoint. I got sign language. All right, now you compare that to the cash buyer. He saves money because he's not going to pay anybody interest. He pays cash for his purchase. Business equipment, tractors, farming, I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Then he saves up money to make his next purchase, and he pays cash. And he saves up money to make his next purchase, and he pays cash. You get to any kind of a time period, at the end of any kind of a time period, both the debtor, the borrower, and the cash buyer wound up at the same place. Does that make sense? Kind of? Perfect. All right. Now I'm going to tie that in with the exponential curve that we all have. If I can build wealth, protect it from taxes, and it actually is almost inflation proof, but I haven't even talked about that. If I can build wealth by contract, have access to it, now I have access to a pool of money. And I can become my own banker. I put that money on an exponential curve forever, compounding for the rest of my life, interest, dividends, tax-free. Think about that for a moment. It's slow, it's boring, it's not exciting, right? And now as that exponential curve is compounding, I can pay cash and then pay back. I can pay cash. So the flat line that I just demonstrated a minute ago, the cash purchaser and the borrower, they all wind up at the same place. If I make that curve an exponential curve, and then I still make purchases, financing from that pool of money, I did not change my actions. I didn't buy any more property. I didn't make any more investments. I didn't save any more money. I didn't hire any more employees. I just became my own banker with a pool of money that I had access to. Does that make sense? And if I do that over any kind of a time period, you can compare the result of that to the average financial guru who's investing money in the stock market. And I know we've all made a lot of money in the stock market, right? That's why the average day trader is net negative at the end of the day. That's why the average hedge fund today can't earn 6% year over year, right? I mean, we all hear about the stock market gains, but nobody wants to tell you about their losses, right? Does that make sense, what I'm saying conceptually? Was that pretty simple conceptually? Now I'm going to share with you the hardest thing that I'm going to talk about today, the toughest words that I'm going to mention today. This is going to, man, if you can't get over this, it's okay. But this is the hardest thing I'm going to talk about today. What I'm talking about is dividend-paying life insurance issued by a mutual insurance company. Right. Can we get past the word life insurance? Look, there's one guy couldn't get up fast enough. He could not get up fast enough, which is okay. Look, if you can't get past the word life insurance, right now is the time to leave. Right now. And it's okay. All right, can everybody else get past the word life insurance? No?
You're going to have to help us. Come on.
Okay. Well, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to possibly unlearn what you've been taught? Because this is exactly the opposite of what you've been taught to do with your money. And it is exactly counterintuitive to the way they think, to the way we think. That's number two. Couldn't wait to leave because I mentioned the word life insurance. Yes, sir.
Is it legal and moral?
Yes, sir, it is. All right, thank you. Is it legal and moral for you or anybody, the federal government, to steal my wealth in such a stealthy way that I can't figure out what's going on? Of course not, So, look, I can disengage from Wall Street. I don't care what the market does today. I don't care what the market... Oh, wait a minute. The market's closed today, isn't it? My wealth, my net worth has gone up today, regardless of what the market did or didn't do, and the market's closed today. My net wealth is going to go up tomorrow, too, and the market's closed. My net wealth is going to go up Monday, regardless of what the market does. I mean, think about that. So what I'm talking about, the infinite banking concept, and I believe the reason you haven't heard about it, look, I was 14 years in the life insurance business, right? And a registered investment advisor. 14 years, $1 million round table producer. Wasn't the first guy in line, but I wasn't the last. I was at least moderately successful before I ever heard of this concept. Right? This is not a creation of the insurance companies, and it's not a creation of Wall Street. It's a creation of this gentleman right here, R. Nelson Nash. He discovered the concept in the 80s, and he wrote this book, and he didn't publish this book until 2000. It's 92 pages. Big print, lots of illustrations. It's such an easy read. Every one of y'all should read this book before the sun goes down today. All right? And of course we have a package deal. And this is what I'm encouraging you to do. Buy some material. Take a look, an unbiased look. Do some homework. Do some investigation. Right? Here and here. A documentary-style DVD produced by an award-winning documentary filmmaker. It's completely unscripted. 52 minutes of unscripted conversations with two of the top Austrian economists in the country, some financial guys across the country that understand and practice this concept, everyday businessmen, everyday retired people, single, married, newly retired, entrepreneurs, doctors, dentists. Just see if this is for real, right? $14.95 online every day, $21.95 online every day. Today they're $30, and it's my cost in them. So I'm telling you, buy this, take it home, read it, investigate, prove me wrong, prove this man wrong, right? 14 years in my profession before I read this book. If you read this book, you'll have a better understanding of basic human economics than most of the financial gurus, the bankers, the brokers, and the advisors that you talk to. Right? And that's my powerful sales thing. That's as close to sales as I get. Buy this book and this DVD.
If you found this video helpful, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn more about infinite banking, you can watch this video next, or visit our website at bankingwithlife.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.